Hi, I'm Joanne Cary. Welcome back to the Embodied Soul podcast, a multidimensional space intended to support you in mastering living, being, and thriving as the embodied soul you are. With everything that's going on in the world and the major changes and shifts that we're going through as a humanity, I wanted to share this week one of my favorite energetic tools to support you in having healthy boundaries, especially for those who are really empathic, who are picking up on the energies of everyone around them. So if you're wanting to learn more about this energetic practice that I use and share with those that I work with, I invite you to pull up a comfy chair, invite in your soul, and be open to receive exactly what you need to live, be, and thrive as the embodied soul you are. So today I want to talk about what my guides referred to as the energetic egg. And this is something they shared with me when I was up in Berkeley, California for a conference, a retreat. And at the time, I didn't really think that I could feel the energies around other people. So I do a lot of online training for myself, for my own energetic growth and expansion. And I can feel the energies really, really strongly when I'm by myself in my room on these calls with many, many other people. Yet what I found is that when I was in the lived space, when I was actually in a retreat room with many other people, 100 people, I wasn't feeling anything that anybody was feeling. And I said to my guides, like, what is up with this? Why am I not feeling these things? Everyone says that being in person is so amazing. Well, why am I not feeling it? Why is it that I can feel these expansive energies of these most amazing energies when I'm alone by myself in my room? And what they shared with me is that I had shut down my feeling around people because I was very sensitive to picking up on people's energies. And so quite young, I closed down that aspect of myself because I didn't feel safe in terms of operating and navigating in the world. That wasn't a conscious decision that I made. It was something that happened, or that a choice that I made as a young me, a little me. And so what they had me work with, and this was on like after the first day of the retreat, they then said, okay, so let's do this. And they had me set this energetic egg around me. And so this is part of the process if you wish to do it. I'm going to walk you through how they walked me through it and how I utilize it. So start by visualizing this energy ball, this energy egg totally surrounding you. But just notice that in this energetic egg are all of these little portals, all these little windows. And these windows open and shut, and you may see them however you see it in your mind's eye is perfectly fine. They showed them to me as these little circular windows that, like vents, I could turn them off or I could open them up. I could turn them closed, I can open them up. And they're all around my field. And how they said to do it is see them all closed. And this energy egg allows all of your beautiful light to go out through it. So all of your light still radiates out into the world in its fullness. Yet when the windows are shut, when these little vents are shut, you don't pick up anyone else's stuff. It closes you off to the energies that aren't for you, that are other people's, that maybe you don't need to hold you in balance. Because remember, at this time, we're being called to fear. There's so much on the media, there's so much on the news, there's heartbreak, there's trauma, there's all of this stuff that we're exposed to around us. And we don't have to, as empaths, as people who feel, as people who are filled with compassion, we don't have to take it all on. We can still feel it, but we don't need to take on other people's energies. And so this is a beautiful energetic boundary to be able to set when you're going to be going into where there's lots of other people. Even if you're going out with a few friends, you still may wish to put on this energetic egg before you go. That way you're not opening yourself up to a whole bunch of energies where you're not sure where people are at. So if you're going out to the mall, if you're going out to grocery shop, if you're going out to a restaurant, if you're going to be walking down the street, you can practice this all the time. Start by putting the energetic egg around you. Now, when you note that all the windows are shut, you've closed yourself right off. But you might not want to be totally closed off. You want to be able to feel what's going on around you. You want to be able to sense some of the energetics that are happening. And so my guide said, okay, begin by opening the windows a little bit. And this can just be done through your intention. I'm just going to open just a sliver, all of these little windows, so that I am now receiving in just a small amount, enough for me to pick up, what are people sensing? How are they feeling? It allows us to still be that caring and empathetic individual we are without being bombarded by what everyone around us is feeling, all of the mixed emotions, right? Because if you're in a group of people, you might have some that are super high and some that are super low. Some are angry, some are all of the things. Allow in a little bit so that you can be directed, and you might choose to only open the ones that are directly ahead of you so that you can pick up on just who you're talking with and see how they're feeling. When you're working with somebody, or if you're talking with someone, or your child or otherwise, you might want to be feeling a bit more of what they're feeling or sensing. And so that way you can just open it up. If you want to feel a bit more, in your mind's eye, you just see that you're opening up the vent a little bit further, or opening the window. Again, whatever means you feel comfortable with, or that really resonates with you. But in the meantime, you know that your energy, your love, your heart space is radiating out for the highest benefit of all. And you're receiving in exactly what you need from somebody else, so that you're able to hold that balance, so that you're able to hold your frequency. And so as you play with this, so for me, what happened when I went back, so before on the lunch break, I then went back with this newly engaged energetics. So I put on my egg. I chose to open my windows right up when I was going into this into this retreat, because I wanted to experience what other people were feeling. And it was really interesting because my body went into a shock. It went into a vibrational awareness in my body. And I was like, guides, like, what's going on? And they said, this is part of why you shut down, right? Your body didn't feel safe. The little part of you didn't feel safe. And so I just gently in my mind's eye closed the windows a bit. I touched myself and said, it's okay, body, you're safe. It's okay. I held in my mind's eye that little aspect of me that had chosen to put on this barrier because it wasn't safe to be feeling everybody around. And I then talked again in my own mind's eye. I'm talking inside of my mind to say, we're doing this as an exercise. We're testing this out. So we're going to start gently and we're going to open it up a little by little. We're going to allow the feelings to come in order for us to realize that we're safe and that we're in control of this, that we don't have to take on all of the energies that are around us, all of this where we may not have felt safe to be able to take on other people's energies, whether they maybe were abusive or loud or triggering, or it doesn't matter. When we're little, lots of things can stir within us where we say we're just not safe in that moment. And so then as I began to work with my system to say we're safe in this, I invited my guides to come in a bit closer to support me in this experiment, opening the windows back up a bit. And I could still feel it, but I could tell that my body felt safe, even if it was still a bit uncomfortable. But I could feel, I could sense, and I could see things that I wasn't able to see when I had this fully closed, unbeknownst to me, guard up and around me. So we worked backwards in order for me to understand this energetic boundaries, because I was closed off. in areas where it involved other people. Yet for some people of you listening, you might be open, your windows might be wide, and you might not realize that you already are wearing this egg, but your windows are fully open. And so as you choose to close them down a bit, you might feel the natural tendency for your body to relax, for your shoulders to drop, for that that sigh. Because we have an absolute right to feel all of our feels, to even feel what's going on around us. But we get to be in choice. We get to be in choice on how much we let other people's energies or the energies of the world around us to come in, and how much we want to just remain in our own energies and have our light shine out. So remember that you can utilize this in all sorts of circumstances. You can utilize this when you are going to watch a TV program. If you are choosing to watch the news, you might want to close off your feelers, what's being sort of radiated or transmitted at you, the messages that are coming through. You might want to remain more closed off so that you can get the information, but be in your discernment as to what you want to take into your energetic field, what you want to take into your energy body. Because not everything that's coming through our media, through our environment, is healthy for our system. It's not supporting us in being in this balanced state that we need to be in right now in terms of stepping forward into the new, in order to step forward into the higher frequencies, in order to not be pulled into the lower density frequencies, the fear frequencies that we're being called into, to keep us stuck, to keep us in the lower 3D field. So my hope for you is, whether you're utilizing this when you're out and about in your communities, in your environments, going about your day, whether you're consciously using it when you're when you're watching and consuming media, you can use it even when you are simply wanting to practice with it so you can get more comfortable with it. And when you're working with people, you might want it really open, and then you want to close it off so that you're not leaving open the threads of your energy. Where you might feel depleted sometimes after you're with somebody. You don't need to take that. You can close off your windows, and that way you've connected and brought back all in your energy. And you can utilize this with a couple of intentions. You can, first of all, even before you put it on, you can choose to align your energy systems to the highest frequency you have available to you. I've covered that in another episode. And that way you're lifting up your brightness. Then you put on your egg, you're shining it out, and then set your windows as you feel comfortable. And then even if you have been out or you've had it open, and maybe you sort of forgot that you had opened up all your windows and you went about your day and you sort of forgot this is how you were navigating your day, and all of a sudden you feel like a whoosh, you're like knocked over in the energies, like something's just hit you and it feels icky or off or maybe just overwhelming. You can then, I'm asking to now clear my energy systems of anything that is not mine. Any energies or emotions that are not mine, I ask them to be removed, and then reset your windows, close them off, leave just a couple open. It's up to you. So I would love to hear how you go with it. If you choose to practice this energetic egg, let me know how you go. Let me know how you experienced it. And if you have enjoyed this episode of Embodied Soul Podcast, please like it, share it, turn on notifications, and subscribe to my channel. It really does help get the energies and messages out to those who need it. And I look forward to seeing you on next week's episode of Embodied Soul.